A lot of people have been asking about what has COVID-19 done to the electricity system in Ontario? And I can really explain that in really three simple ways. The first is, think about our electricity system in Ontario as a lot like our business here at Bruce Power. And really what that means is, whether or not consumers are using electricity or not, there's still a lot of fixed costs in the system. So the most significant thing that COVID has done, not surprisingly with the ramp down of the economy, is it's reduced electricity demand. And so the problem with that is our costs of the electricity system have remained relatively fixed and the demand has dropped. So really what that has meant is the price to generate electricity or to provide it to the consumer has increased. The government continues to subsidize electricity very significantly here in the province of Ontario, to the tune of about $5 billion a year. During COVID, that has likely risen somewhere to $6 to $7 billion. So what they've done is stepped in to really stabilize that. That is obviously something that isn't sustainable. So as the economy continues to reopen in Ontario, of course safely most importantly, it's really important for us to watch electricity demand, because otherwise we have too many fixed costs compared to not as much demand. The other thing during COVID that has been really important is the flexibility of the system. And it's been very unpredictable. So that's a case where the team here on site, in terms of our outage planning, in terms of our flexible generation, have been really, really important. And in terms of our long-term future, that's also very important, because we know how important reliability is, but we also have to value flexibility. And those two pieces together is really important in terms of Bruce Power's value proposition going forward. But I also wouldn't underestimate that the anchor of reliability that people on this site delivered. And that is really about our COVID controls, but more importantly, also the things we did off-site. Throughout the pandemic, we distributed over 250,000 pieces of PPE to Grey Bruce and Huron counties, 3 pop-up surge hospitals, a range of other things in the community across Ontario, 1.5 million pieces of PPE. All of you contributed to that. The great news is as tough as things are with COVID-19, we know how to stop this. We know if we keep our distance, we know if we follow public health rules, we know that if we wash our hands, if we clean our work surfaces, and we know if we wear masks, we know we can stop this. So there is no secrets going forward. The predictability going forward is higher than it ever has been, and we've all played a critical role in that. The final thing I want to talk about is our isotope production. You know, this is something that we should all be really proud of. In 2020, Bruce Power will provide enough cobalt-60 to the world to sterilize between 20 to 25 billion pairs of surgical gloves, or 20 to 25 billion swabs used to test for COVID-19. We are a world leader in the supply of cobalt-60. Cobalt-60 is a critical tool in the fight against COVID-19. We know how tough personal protective equipment has been for our frontline healthcare workers. We know how tough it has been in terms of the demand on our healthcare system. And the supply of cobalt-60 that the team here at Bruce Power has been able to maintain has been absolutely critical to that fight. It's a story we don't tell loud enough. I'm hoping we can tell it more, but it's something you should all be very proud of. As a colleague, as somebody who did not need to be here every day during the pandemic, I consider you a frontline hero in this fight as well. Thank you for what you did for our organization. Thank you for what you did for Ontario. You did what you did best and what you do best, which is make a difference.